This is the Geartist XDC600 Plus electric bike. If you're curious about powerful e-bikes that blend everyday practicality with a bit of wild adventure, this one definitely stands out just by the way it looks. You've got a strong, modern aluminum frame, huge 26-inch fat tires at 4 inches wide, and a design that tells you this thing is built for more than cruising down the sidewalk. When I first got this e-bike, I was honestly a bit overwhelmed. It's big, sturdy, and it gives off this no-nonsense vibe that's hard to ignore. So let me unpack my experience riding the Geartist XDC600 Plus and share everything I wish I'd known before hopping on. When I first saw those dual motors, basically 2 electric engines working together, I was both excited and a little intimidated. For anyone new to e-bikes, dual motor means there's a motor on both the front and rear wheels, which increases the power and gives you all-wheel drive. The official specs mention a peak of 5,000 watts, though regular riding seems to be less for efficiency. I learned quickly that this kind of setup means more speed and way better traction on rough roads or dirt trails. So if you want something fun for both city commutes and off-roading, this is a solid option. From my first ride, the power was immediately noticeable. Compared to standard single-motor e-bikes, this thing accelerates fast, especially if you turn on both motors. The kick you get on hills honestly made me smile. I don't always need that much force, so I learned to toggle between the riding modes. The bike lets you choose pure electric if you want to just cruise without pedaling, pedal assist for more of a workout with help, and classic bike mode for when you just want to ride manually. The digital display on the handlebars is really clear. Even for someone like me, who's not a tech whiz, I found it easy to swap modes and check my speed or remaining battery at a glance. Speaking of the battery, that's another thing that impressed me. With a 52-volt 30-hour lithium-ion pack, as someone who tends to ride a lot, I could go nearly all day without worrying about running out of charge. The advertised range is generous. I regularly got over 40 miles with some pedaling on mixed roads, which is more than enough for both weekend trips and daily riding. The removable battery is super practical. I'll usually just pop it out and bring it inside to charge, making things easier if you live in an apartment. Now about the feel. This electric bike is not what you'd call light. At around 66 pounds or 30 kilograms, it's hefty, and you really notice that if you need to lift it or carry it upstairs. I've struggled a bit with moving it from storage, so if you're someone who has to transport their bike frequently, keep that in mind. On the positive side, the weight does add stability, and when you're actually on the road or even tackling gravel, you feel balanced and safe, especially with those fat tires soaking up a lot of bumps. The suspension on the front is designed to make the ride smoother, especially on uneven terrain. Here's where I'm a bit mixed. It definitely softens the jolt from potholes or rocks, but I found it can sometimes feel stiff and occasionally bottoms out if I hit something too hard. The seat is adjustable, but I should mention if you're below about 5'8", the high seat and long reach may feel awkward. I'm average height, and I found it just right, but shorter riders should check the fit before committing. Stopping power is handled by hydraulic disc brakes, and I have to say they feel reliable even on steep slopes. When riding at higher speeds, this bike can theoretically reach up to 45 miles per hour, though real-world riding is often a bit less. Having strong brakes is really important. There's also a bright headlight and a tail light to make night rides safer. As someone who sometimes rides after dark, I really appreciate those small safety details. Let's talk about the look for a second. This bike gets attention. The bold colors, fat tires, and big battery give it a strong personality. When I lock it outside a coffee shop or ride through the neighborhood, people ask questions or comment. It's a conversation starter. On rainy days and muddy trails, the frame and fenders hold up well, and cleaning it is easier than I expected. Accessory-wise, the package I got included a few handy extras: a charger, a rechargeable phone holder, an anti-theft lock, a manual pump, and a rear rack. That made getting started much easier. The phone holder in particular came in clutch for following maps on longer rides. For anyone wondering if this bike is right for workouts or daily commutes or just for fun weekend rides, I find the Geartist XDC600 Plus covers all those bases. It's perfect for someone who wants speed and versatility. The pedal assist mode means you can break a sweat, but if you hit a tough hill or you're too tired for strenuous exercise, the electric assist makes life so much easier. For commuting, the long-lasting battery means no daily charging anxiety. For off-roading, those 4-inch wide tires and dual motors keep you moving even when trails get rough or muddy. There are a couple of things I wish were different, though. The initial setup took me longer than expected. The instruction manual isn't super detailed. I had to watch a few online videos to get everything adjusted, especially the brakes and gears. If you're not used to bike assembly, maybe ask for help or have your local shop give it a once-over. And as I mentioned, the weight is a real factor. You won't want to be carrying this up multiple flights of stairs. For new riders, terms like pedal assist or dual motor can seem complex. Pedal assist means the motor activates when you pedal, making it feel like a strong tailwind is always with you. Dual motor just means there's power to both wheels at once, not just one. The end result is better traction, especially off-road or in slippery conditions. From my experience, the Geartist XDC600 Plus really shines when you want a balance between adventure and practicality. Commuting is a breeze, grocery runs are no problem, and you can change up your route to include parks or trails just because you can. The combination of a strong battery, big fat tires, dual motors, and customizable riding modes sets it apart from more basic e-bikes. In my opinion, you'll love this e-bike if you want speed, power, range, and reliable performance for a lot of different situations. I'd recommend this for riders who don't mind a little extra weight in exchange for all-around flexibility and strength, and who want to push their rides beyond the typical city streets. In conclusion, after spending real time with the Geartist XD600 Plus electric bike, I'd say it's a fantastic choice if you want an electric bike that stands out visually and packs the kind of power needed for both daily life and a little off-road adventure. The downsides, mainly the weight and initial assembly, are real, but for me, the benefits far outweigh those. If you have any questions or your own experiences, drop them in the comments. You can find detailed information about the Geartist XDC600 Plus electric bike in the comments section. See you in the next video.